I don't know, man. Yeah, Lennox Lewis. Lennox, I'm coming for you.
Do you remember the most shocking moments in sports history? The unbelievable night when the legendary Mike Tyson faced James "Buster" Douglas. You won't believe what occurred next. With Tyson's left eye bulging and Douglas unwilling to back down, the tension was evident. Just when you thought things couldn't get any more dramatic, a startling turn of circumstances in the 8th round stunned everyone. Hold on tight as we reveal the secrets that nobody has ever talked about this fight that everyone remembers. The unforgettable night in boxing history occurred on February 11, 1990. It was a clash of titans between Mike Tyson and James "Buster" Douglas, and nobody saw it coming. Tyson, the unbeatable heavyweight champion, was up against Douglas, who was considered an underdog. But fate had other plans. So there they were, in the Tokyo Dome, and the crowd was pumped up. But then, in the 10th round, boom, down goes Tyson. It was like an earthquake had struck the arena. Tyson was on the mat, stunned by an uppercut followed by a powerful double right-left combo from Douglas. Tyson, the Hound from Brooklyn, tried to gather himself, but it was over. He looked like an unbolted statue, a disoriented puppet. The guy who had 37 victories, 33 of them by knockout, had finally tasted defeat for the first time in his career. And you know what's even more astonishing? Douglas was not your typical champion material. He wasn't programmed to win against Tyson. But that night, he proved everyone wrong. The ungraded, dull boxer beat the reigning WBC, WBA, and IBF world champion. The crowd was left speechless. Nobody was ready for that upset. This match had a surreal twist to it, and it marked a turning point for both fighters. Tyson's decline began that evening, while Douglas was on cloud 9, just as stunned as the audience witnessing this incredible upset. That night, we witnessed history. It's not every day that you see a giant like Tyson fall. The World Boxing Championships usually brought action on the other side of the Pacific Ocean. But that night, Tokyo was the center of the boxing universe. The memory of "Down Goes Tyson" and Douglas's improbable victory will forever be etched in the annals of boxing lore. Watching a Tyson fight back then was like watching an execution. The World Championship between Tyson and Douglas seemed like a non-event from every angle. Don King set up Douglas to be easy prey for Tyson, almost like feeding a small fry to a shark before arranging a showdown with Evander Holyfield. The press conference was already scheduled, and everything was set for a massive clash in June. But Douglas had other plans. On paper, the odds were stacked heavily against Douglas, the 29-year-old challenger with 4 losses on his record. The odds were 42-1 in favor of Tyson, and only one casino was willing to take bets on the fight, the Las Vegas Mirage. Tyson was on a rampage, obliterating his opponents in just a few rounds. No one had ever risen to such heights in boxing history so quickly. People were convinced this would be an easy win for Tyson, and there was nothing worth watching. But fate had other ideas. Ever since the passing of his mother, James "Buster" Douglas had one goal: to make her proud. He was determined not to give up and to honor her memory. He poured his heart and soul into training, with no signs of weakness. However, close to the fight, he broke down in tears, overcome with emotions thinking of his late mother. But he had an incredible support system, and his coaches helped him stay focused and regain his composure. Against all odds, Douglas arrived in Japan in the best shape of his life. He had lost nearly 5 kilos, but he was ready to take on the seemingly invincible Tyson. No one could have predicted what would happen next, and that's what made this historic evening so unforgettable. Douglas had a determination like never before, and he was about to shock the world with an outcome nobody saw coming. James "Buster" Douglas pulled off the unthinkable by defeating the mighty Iron Mike Tyson. But it's essential to understand the context. Tyson wasn't himself leading up to that fight. He hadn't been in the ring for 203 days and was going through a tough time emotionally. His marriage to Robin Givens had ended in divorce, leaving him in a difficult place emotionally. Tyson admitted that he had lost some of his drive to fight after the breakup. He felt like the match against Douglas should have been an easy win, considering he had beaten even stronger opponents before. But he wasn't mentally prepared, and his entourage didn't provide the support he needed. His former mentor, Gus D'Amato, had passed away, and his manager and trainer were replaced. Tyson had entered the era of Don King, and that change would have a detrimental effect on his career. He admitted that he didn't take Douglas seriously and didn't train as hard as he should have. Instead, he engaged in parties and orgies in his hotel room, the complete opposite of what a professional fighter should do before a crucial bout. Tyson took responsibility for his loss, acknowledging that it was his fault 100%. And on that fateful night, February 11, he indeed lost his championship belt. It was a turning point in his career, but little did anyone know that things would take an even darker turn, leading him down a slippery slope that would eventually land him in prison. The Tyson-Douglas fight will always be remembered not only for the shocking upset, but also as a pivotal moment in the lives of both fighters. Douglas became a champion against all odds, while Tyson's downfall began that very night. The legend of that fight will be told for generations. 10 intense rounds that changed everything. It was the first time we saw Tyson physically marked. In the 5th round, his left eye swelled up, and there was panic in his corner. Nobody expected the pit bull Tyson to be treated so roughly by Douglas. The makeshift attempt to treat his eye with a latex glove filled with tap water only made things worse. Then came the 8th round, and Tyson's talent showed as he sent Douglas to the mat. But the story was already written in stone. Douglas was determined and unyielding. He later revealed that he didn't feel any pain, and he took his time to get up, solid on his legs and ready to fight. Nothing could break his spirit. The bell gave him a chance to recover even more, and he wasn't hit at all. Sore losers Don King and Tyson tried to challenge the outcome, claiming the referee counted too slowly. But their attempts were pathetic, just like Tyson's performance that night. Neither King nor Tyson could change the result. It was set in history. And then came the decisive 10th round. Douglas unleashed a powerful blow that sent Tyson crashing to the mat. It was over. The beautiful story had come to an end, but it was a triumphant ending for Douglas. He did it all for his mother, and he proved to himself and the world that he was a true champion. For Douglas, the hardest part was yet to come. He would face new challenges as a champion. And for Tyson, it was a turning point in his life. The once invincible Iron Mike had been defeated, and his journey from that point on would be marked by ups and downs. But in the boxing world, the fight between Tyson and Douglas is still a big deal. It broke everyone's hopes and proved that even the best champions can lose. Both fighters' lives changed when James "Buster" Douglas won, which was made possible by his drive and love for his mother. Douglas's win cemented his place in boxing history, while Tyson's loss set him on a rough road. The match taught us the power of staying strong and how unpredictable sports can be. It will always remind us that underdogs can become great and legends can lose. Thanks for watching. If you were as shocked as we were by this jaw-dropping moment, don't forget to like this video and hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on more exciting boxing stories and sports insights. Stay tuned until the next time.